What's up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be going over talking about our best cornerbacks right now in a college football 25 Ultimate Team. Now, a lot of these cards, honestly, opinion-wise for me, I've changed over the last couple of weeks. Just because, again, I think it's forever changing, right? And like, for me, I've came to the realization that as cards get 97, 98 speeds, scheme teams are no longer as important as they once were. And instead, what does the change of direction look like on every card instead of, in height, instead of finding guys that fit your specific scheme? So if you don't have a scheme team, that is honestly, in my opinion, a good thing at this stage. But we're going to be diving into my top 10. And honestly, the difference between my number 10 and my number 1 is super small. So just know that, realize that. Again, a lot of things depend on whether you play a lot of man or zone coverage. Now, at my number 10, a guy I've got to plug in is Davison. Now, with this card, it's interesting because I'm going to be talking about him not upgraded. If you want to upgrade this card, if you can use your national championship token on him, I would argue he's up there in your top 3, probably at number 2 as far as my top corners in the game. I think upgraded Davison is one of the best corners in the game. Now, non-upgraded Davison is down here at number 10. I still think the card's elite. 95 speed, 96 acceleration, 96 change direction, good in man, good in zone, 6'2". There's just not a lot of flaws. And again, for 60,000 coins, I think, I think I take what I can get out of the card. And again, if you do have this upgraded Davison, sign me up for all of it. I mean, upgraded Davison is probably one of your top 2 or 3 corners in the entire game right now. The other card tied at number 10, we got a tie at number 10, is Patrick Surtain. Speed is only at 95, but everything else is fantastic. 6'2", 95 change direction, 96 man, 95 zone. So if you're like myself and play a mix of man and zone, I really do like what Patrick Surtain can provide for you guys on the field. I do wish his speed was a little bit higher. A lot of the speeds in this video you're going to see at that 96. But other than that, I really do like what Surtain can give you. Coming in at my number 9, we're going to be plugging in Cameron Oliver. Now, he is an LTD from the scheme Spotlight set, which means you can change the scheme on him if you want. I ran Cam Oliver for quite some time. Really good if you do play a lot of that zone coverage. If you play man coverage, not going to be quite as good. And honestly, as time goes on, I think man coverage is kind of the meta right now in this game. And so I do like Cam Oliver. I think the card is good. I just think compared to some of the other guys on this list that I'll get to, he's just not quite that elite level. You know, the 94 acceleration, it leaves just something to be desired in my opinion. The card's good, just not, in my opinion, in that top 5 or so level. But if you do play zone coverage, I do like Cam Oliver over a lot of these guys. Rayshawn Pleasant up next here at my number 8. Now, I've played against Rayshawn Pleasant. And trust me when I tell you, I struggled to do anything against this card. And I don't want to gas him over the top, but I'm just telling you, like when it came down to me playing Rayshawn Pleasant, I couldn't do anything. I was absolutely boxed. He played great press coverage. He has 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 96 change of direction, 96 man coverage. I mean, again, I was just so boxed against this card, and so because I was so boxed against the card, I've got to respect him. You know, and he is 6 feet tall, so he has decent height, getting good speed, acceleration, change of direction, good press. Rayshawn Pleasant is a stud on this game, coming in at my number 8. One of the newer cards that I got to talk about is Bo Masco, coming in here at number 7. Now, some people might argue this card should be a little bit higher, and honestly, I get it. Only 5'11", though, 97 speed, 97 acceleration, 94 change direction, 95 man, 97 zone. I'd argue if you play primarily zone coverage, it's tough to beat what this card can do. However, he is only 5'11" at the end of the day. If he was a little bit taller, obviously, then Bo Masco takes a step up. But again, that 5'11" height hurts him a little bit. For under 200,000 coins, I don't actually hate this card though. And so I want you guys to know and realize it is all preference based. For me, I just think we've got some guys that I slightly prefer to Bo Masco. One of those guys is Travis Hunter, cornerback card here, who's coming in at my number 6. Now, some people might argue that Travis Hunter should be higher. And if that's you, I get it, because I struggle against Travis Hunter as well. 97 speed, 96 acceleration, 97 change direction, 99 man, 96 zone. Like, if you look at the stats, he might be the best, stat-wise card in the entire game at the cornerback position. He might be. Now, I'm not trying to sit up here and gas Travis Hunter too much, but that's just a realistic thing with Travis Hunter. The card looks absolutely elite. Again, 97 speed, 97 change direction is good. Good in man, good in zone, good in press. 6'1", no flaws in Travis Hunter. The only flaw is he's overpriced. Again, Travis Hunter maybe should be higher on this list, but it's like, how does Travis Hunter honestly compare to a guy like Ronde Barber? That's the question. Because I think Ronde Barber with the 97 speed, 97 acceleration might be better. And again, it really is tough. If you play both man and zone, I'd probably lean Travis Hunter. Whereas if you're one you play mostly man, I think Ronde Barber is probably more complete. Only 5'10", but he's got 97 speed and 97 acceleration. I mean, you can't get better than that. 93 change direction's okay, but 96 man coverage is elite. And maybe it's just like an eye test thing. When I've played against Ronde Barber, I've been in an absolute box. And so, those are the types of things, as well as, the newer abilities on the newer cards that do matter for Ronde Barber. He is obviously a beast on this game, especially if you are playing that man coverage. If you're playing zone coverage, it doesn't maybe matter as much because, again, he's got a 90 zone coverage. I'm not a super big fan if you play mostly zone coverage of Ronde Barber, but the 97 speed, 97 acceleration for Ronde Barber is off the charts good. I do wish the height and change of direction were higher for Ronde Barber. Like, if there is one complaint about Ronde Barber that I do have, it's what it would be. Like, the change of direction, as well as only being 5'10". That is a little low. As well as some of the guys on this list. Like, if you play man press coverage, some of the guys on this list have the press coverage rating of a 96, 97. Ronde Barber's is only a 93 as well. So, like, as I'm looking at his stats and again, the height, like, he is not as good as, like, my number 1 or number 2 on this list. He's just simply not. But as far as an overall picture for Ronde Barber, again, with, coming out recently compared to like a Travis Hunter who came out a while ago, gonna have some of those newer abilities. I'm actually pulling up the abilities right here on my screen so I can walk you through exactly the abilities that Ronde Barber does get. He comes with a gold ability. The ability that Barber does come with is that blanket coverage on gold. So look, again, if you play man coverage, he has gold blanket coverage, which is just fantastic. Gets gold jammer as well, so if you do play, that bump and run type coverage, he is going to be elite. At my number 4, we're plugging in Tariq Woolen. Interesting card here in Woolen. Really interesting card, because you might be like, really, Ty? Tariq Woolen. I'm entertained. Look at his height. 6'4" for Tariq Woolen. That's where it all starts and ends. I'm not going to sit up here and say the card is perfect outside of that, but he is 6'4". He gets all gold. Hear me out. He gets all gold abilities. So if you want to play man and put blanket coverage on him, you can. You want to put robber or bull hawk on him, you can. He gets all gold abilities. He is 6'4". He's got 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 96 change of direction, great in zone coverage. If you play zone coverage primarily, I'm going to tell you this right now, he's at my number 1. If you play zone coverage primarily, there's no better corner in the game than Tariq Woolen. The problem is, if you play both zone and man, I personally think I like Will Johnson more. Now, Will Johnson's a corner that you're going to pick up if you don't want to put a ton of abilities on cards, because if on your corners, because if you look at Will Johnson's abilities, they're not even close to what the other cards' abilities are. But again, you have a limited amount of abilities, so you can't put abilities on every card. Will Johnson's got 96 speed, 97 acceleration, 95 change direction, 96 man, 96 zone. He's 6'2". Tell me where the flaws are at in Will Johnson. I personally don't see any. That's why I'm a big fan of Will Johnson. Coming in at my number 3. He's a card that I've ran for a while, and again, I'm personally going to hype up. At my number 2, we're plugging in Joey Porter Jr. Card that came out just the other day that I'm a big fan of in this Game Changers drop. Why? 6 feet tall, 97 speed, 95 acceleration, 97 man coverage. As far as ability-wise, comes with gold jammer, gold blanket coverage. So again, if you play man coverage, good luck getting loose from Joey Porter Jr. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to get open. This card is perfect in man coverage. Zone coverage, not nearly as good. But I'm telling you, if you put blanket coverage and jammer on him, he is locking down your opponent's wide receivers. He's going to. With the 97 speed, the 95 acceleration, 94 change of direction, 97 man coverage, it's just over with. I'm telling you, it's just over with if you play against Joey Porter Jr. Coming in at my number 1, plugging in L'Jarius Sneed, 97 speed, 96 acceleration, 96 man, 96 change of direction, 98 man, 97 press, 6'1". card's literally cheating. Like, if you have L'Jarius Sneed on your team, I'm genuinely calling you a cheater because you are. He comes with gold blanket coverage, gold jammer. And so, like, again, this is why the meta of the game is playing that man coverage. Because of guys like L'Jarius Sneed. Like, that's why the game is broken in the way it is. Because gold blanket coverage, gold jammer. He comes with 97 speed, 98 man, 98 press. How are you supposed to get open on a card like this? You can't. L'Jarius Sneed coming in right now as my best corner in college football 25 Ultimate Team. That's going to wrap it up for our video. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.